What's poppin' YouTube? It's Jaelen. I've been gone for a long time, I know. I really haven't had a reason of why I've been gone. I just have not been active on my personal channel. I'm about to get more active, so please just bear with me. Stick with me, subscribe, stay. I'm gonna try a few new things on my personal channel. I really want this personal channel to reflect like who I am as a person, but also reflect things that I'm interested in as well. Not just like all about me, also things that I am interested in, if that makes any sense. Please, just before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on your post notifications. Follow all of my social media down in the description below. Follow my YouTube channel and my other YouTube channel. And also please follow my music. Stay tuned with that. I'm in the process of writing for my EP, so that is super exciting. And just stay around and support because I really have some fire songs on the way, I promise. Like I was saying before, I really wanted to make this YouTube channel be different. I want to make it something that you can be interested in, something that'll keep your attention, something that'll educate you too at the same time, because I really love to know things. Doesn't matter what it is. It could be about crime, it could be about whatever, but I just love to know things. So I feel like this is a good way to educate and also a good way to just like, you know, share information, because some of this stuff is so crazy, okay? Also guys, I really love smoking. If you guys follow me on my Instagram, you would know that I am a stoner. So I just wanted to mix the two together, I guess you could say. Tree and true crime, mix it together every Thursday, perhaps. I'm going to be telling these stories how I say it, so in a way that I would tell a story to a friend, but I don't want anybody to think like I'm making fun of what happened or I don't have any empathy for the victims, because I really do. I enjoy learning about crime stories, but it doesn't mean that I am lessening what happened, or I don't think like what happened is super brutal and crazy and just not okay. So I just want to get into it. I'm going to follow a timeline. I've seen people do it. I've seen people, not this particular story, but people do their stories different ways. Maybe they won't tell you the outcome till the end. I do like things that don't tell you the outcome till the end, but if you kind of follow crime stories, you kind of sometimes already know how it ends, but you just kind of want to know like what led up to that point. I just kind of want to give a timeline that you can follow along. This story is fairly simple. There's not a lot of different people in this story. It's just really one crazy person and then a few victims. Before we even get into the story, you know we finna light up. This is a joint. I do not smoke blunts, so if you don't smoke, like, you don't have to smoke with me. You can just listen to me. I'm gonna take one puff with my lip gloss on and then I'm about to wipe this off. Matter of fact, I'm about to wipe it off now. Today we're going to be talking about Daniel LaPlante. Daniel was born in 1970 in Townsend, Massachusetts. He had a mother and a father, but he had a really shitty upbringing. Like, if ain't shit was a person, those were his parents. He suffered sexual and psychological abuse from multiple adults within his life. He also suffered a lot of sexual abuse and torment from his father. His father was really sexually abusive, physically abusive, emotionally abusive. Anything you could think of, his father was. When Daniel went to school, the fact that he had such a shitty home life affected his academic life too. He was super awkward socially, really bad academically. A lot of the kids like bullied him at school. In high school, he was bullied. He was called like a creep and weird. I mean, I see it. Like I said, it affected him academically, and Daniel was diagnosed with dyslexia. He also had a really bad appearance. He had bad hygiene. His appearance, he wasn't very well kept, so school officials referred him to a psychiatrist. Get this. In most cases, that would be a good thing, right? But in Daniel's case, it was not. Daniel, as you know, was just diagnosed with dyslexia, and then when he went to psychiatrist, he was diagnosed with hyperactivity disorder. You will not believe. The psychiatrist made sexual advances towards Daniel and sexually abused him during their sessions. Daniel already having these things going on, including he was already weird. You know, he was a weird kid already. At 15, he started to break into people's houses and steal items. He would steal little things, sometimes big things like money and stuff, but he would really steal like strange things, like maybe things that really didn't have much value. He was a weirdo. He would take stuff, but he would also leave stuff behind. He was so weird because he didn't want to do it in a way that's like, oh, I don't want to be caught. He didn't care about anyone knowing that someone was in their house. He wanted people to know that someone was in their house. That's equivalent to like him coming into my room and taking my heart lamp and switching it with the moon, and like I didn't know what I did with my stuff, you know? That's what Daniel was doing. He's taking people's stuff, moving stuff around, being a freaking weirdo. In Townsend, Massachusetts, this is where he's doing that at. So people are like, yo, like, is your stuff getting moved around? Yeah, so, you know, it's weird. Daniel was basically going into people's houses just to play mind games with them. Daniel needed a hobby. This is what they assume happened. They don't really know how he got the phone number, but what they're assuming is that in 1986, Daniel broke into a house and then stole a phone number from one of those homes. He then called the number and started to torment a family of 3. It was a dad and his 2 daughters, Jessica and Annie Andrews. Daniel called the house saying he was like a teenager in the neighborhood and just made it seem like he was a new teenage boy in the neighborhood. Well, he was a teenage boy in the neighborhood, but he was also a teenage boy who was crazy and was stealing people's stuff. So Daniel called the girls, he was talking to them on the phone, and somehow, some way, Daniel the creep charmed Annie Andrews charmed her into going on a date with him. Like, Daniel was on the phone lying about how he looked. He was basically like describing himself. He was basically like catfishing Annie through a phone call. He was like, yeah, I look good and on the phone, but in reality, Daniel looked like this. So he was lying. And Annie was really confused. Like, yo, you do not look how you told me that you looked. You said that you was 6'5" with big brown eyes and you look scary. That's probably how it went. That's what I'm thinking. And something about Annie, she has a good heart or something, because I would have been out. I would have not been there. I'm not sticking around. First of all, you lied to me. Secondly, you don't even look like your pictures. Third, you look like a freaking creep, okay? Stole my number, weirdo. Annie stayed for the ice cream date that they had, and he ate up her ice cream. She was probably just like, you know what? I'm gonna get a meal out this nigga because he wanted to lie to me. He's wasting my time. I'm gonna eat me some ice cream, because why not? She got her little ice cream from him and she was like, all right, thank you for my ice cream. I'm out. So Annie leaves. She's over it because she has no interest in him, because he does not look how he said. And plus, Annie was just going through it already because she just lost her mom to cancer. The fact that she had just like lost her mom, it was like too much to be in a relationship with Daniel the creep, okay? So it's reported that one night the sisters had a seance to summon their mom who had passed away from cancer. They just missed her and wanted to talk to her. So they had a seance to speak to her. Nothing happened during the seance, but that night they started hearing knocking and tapping like within the walls. So they were like, bitch, that's mom. She's talking to us. You know, they were excited, but it wasn't mom. Like, you know, that bitch is crazy. The sister started to realize that is not mom, because the knocks continued and they would come at like really inconvenient times. Like if they were about to go to sleep, the knocking is happening. You know, that's not mom. Mom's not built that way, so it's definitely not mom. It was reported that the knocking went on for 2 months. The girls told their dad, Brian Andrews, and he just like brushed it off and was like, no, I think you guys are just really upset that your mom passed away. You're not taking it well, so you guys are just imagining things. Yeah, okay. There was writing on the walls. One night in 1987, Brian Andrews, the father, came home, and you will not believe what he saw. He saw Danny the creep dressed up in his deceased wife's clothing with heels and a blonde wig on, and he was holding a hatchet. Imagine this person in your home holding a hatchet with heels and a wig. Okay. So Brian was struggling with Daniel. Somehow, some way, Danny got away. The police found him hidden in a crawl space behind a cupboard built into the wall of Annie Andrews' bedroom. So Daniel was arrested. He was charged. Then he got out only 10 months later. I personally could never, but we won't talk about that. He got out in October 1987. They should have never let him out. This was like, I feel like the biggest mistake of the whole situation. Because one, he was doing all that creepy stuff. He was living in a girl's wall. Do you understand that? He was only in jail for 10 months. I don't understand. On December 1st, 1987, a man named Andrew Gustafsson came home. He came home to his pregnant wife, dead, shot twice in their master bedroom, and his 2 kids, William and Abigail, drowned. The police report stated, and I quote, The police found William's body face down in the upstairs bathroom and found Abigail's body face down in the downstairs bathroom. The cause of death for both of the children was drowning, but Abigail also had other injuries, which was blunt trauma to the head and compression of the neck. Police identified LaPlante as the murderer. Somehow, some way, Daniel got away again, but a man had happened and they found him not a lot of years later. It was like the next year, because he committed the murder in 1987 and they found him in 1988. He was sent to prison for 3 life sentences for the murder of the Gustafsson family. But to you, that might sound like, wow, that's a lot of time, 3 life sentences, like they are going crazy. But it's not what it seems. Life in this situation only meant 15 years. And life doesn't really always mean life. So when they say life plus this, that's why they're really doing life, because they want to make sure that the person never gets out. That makes sense. I didn't know if anyone knew that. It's so weird. I just learned that the other day. In 2017, he applied for a reduced sentence, and at his court appearance, he said, and I quote, "Words cannot fully capture what I have done. I have murdered 3 innocent people. Because of me, a 5-year-old boy will never turn 6. There is a 7-year-old girl that will never turn 8. Because of me, a woman will never be able to give birth to her child. I robbed an unborn child of his first breath. A husband was never able to hear from his family, 'I love you.' I do not have words to fully express my sorrow, but I am truly sorry for the harm I have caused from the essence of who I am. From the depths of my soul, I am sorry." But the psychiatrist was like, nah. They didn't believe him. The psychiatrist was like, he's not remorseful. This is the first time you've ever shown remorse, so thank you for that cute little speech you did, Danny the Creep, but we don't think that's like, we're not going to listen to that. We think you're bullshitting. His request was denied, but the reason he had appealed it, though, is because they had just passed within a few years the new law saying that juveniles cannot get life. But the thing was, the new law was not retroactive, so it wasn't backdated for criminals that were already locked up and in the system, and the judges could still uphold their ruling. Daniel didn't have a chance of getting out because he killed fucking 3 people, 2 children, and 1 unborn child, and a woman. You're in there, Daniel. Stay in prison. In 2017, when Daniel was trying to apply for the application to get out, it actually backfired and his sentence was restructured. The judge decided, actually, you have to serve those life sentences consecutively without even coming and talking to us about parole first. He'll not even have a chance to talk about parole until he's 62, I think, because 45 years. So he's in there, girl, like swimwear. But I truly don't think 45 years is enough. You've killed 3 people. When do you say it's over for you? But I don't know. I hope you learned a bit of information. I hope you learned about LaPlante. Enjoyed the smoking sesh. I don't know if I smoked that much. I guess I'll see when I edit. I tried to smoke enough. But I was also focused on the story because I wanted to make sure that I was giving you all the information. I'm pretty high though, so I feel like I smoked enough. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, leave a comment down below. Tell me stories that you want me to talk about, maybe crime situations or mystery. Definitely here for all of that. And if you have any suggestions or things that you want me to do, share this so we can get to 10K. Peace.